Hey trainers, you've got Pokémon Master TC, and today I'm discussing another what if in the Pokémon universe. Today I'm discussing what if Team Rocket didn't exist in the anime. That includes Jesse, James, and Meowth. We can talk about Team Rocket as the overall organization existing, but what if the characters of Jesse, James, and Meowth didn't bug Ash every single episode? We're gonna get into those ramifications in this video. Now, I love Pokemon discussions, I love Pokemon what ifs, and if you do too, and you haven't yet, make sure you hit that sub button to subscribe to my channel because I've got plenty of Pokemon discussions already on here, including what if Ash woke up on time, what if Pikachu evolved, but if you also like other content like rankings and collection showcases from the 90s, I also have videos like that on my channel, so make sure you sub to it. All right, trainers, let's figure out what would happen if Team Rocket didn't exist.
Pokemon changed my life. It became my first addiction. The TV show, games, cards, and toys. I was enamored by it all. Becoming a Pokemon Master was all that I cared about as a kid, and so I became one. Join me, Pokémon Master TC, as I relive the most nostalgic part of my childhood and showcase my Pokemon collection, and most important of all, share my love of Pokemon with you.
Trainers, there is a formula to every single Pokemon episode, or at least 99% of the episodes. I don't know how the episodes went when the series kept going after the 2000s, but I know how it went in the 90s and the early 2000s when Ash was being antagonized by Team Rocket almost every single episode. And once this formula came to me, it's like I couldn't unsee what I had learned. And so in every Pokemon episode, you're gonna have Ash and he's gonna have an objective, whether that's catching a new Pokemon, helping out a new friend, trying to earn a gym badge. And then about 50% through the episode or a little bit later, Team Rocket comes crashing in and ruins his plans, or they need to blast off and Ash learns a lesson or he earns some experience from Team Rocket. And once you kind of know it's coming, I shouldn't say it ruins the experience, but you're just like, all right, where's Jesse, where's James, where's Meowth, because I know they are coming to cause trouble. Well, let's pretend that they don't exist. Let's go back to the episode Pokemon Emergency, which I believe is the second episode, and let's say Pikachu and Ash blasted them off for good, and we never see them again. What ramifications would that mean for Ash and Pikachu and Ash overall on his journey to becoming a Pokemon Master? Well, here's my theory on what would happen, but let's first take a look at why it's important that Team Rocket is continuously bugging Ash. So for one, every time Team Rocket shows up, it's typically Ash and his Pokemon that battle them. And you probably don't realize this, or at least I didn't until I started to think of this question, but Ash and his team of Pokemon gained so much experience beating Team Rocket over and over and over again. And in fact, you kind of realize that because even in losing, Pokemon can gain experience, at least in the anime, because you see in a later episode, you see Coughing and Ekans evolve into their evolved forms for Team Rocket. Even though those two Pokemon had been defeated so many times, they still gain experience. So in the anime, Ash and his team are continuously defeating Team Rocket. They're gaining experience over and over and over again. And so Ash's team really gets leveled up. They gain a lot of experience because every episode, Team Rocket is there to get their butts kicked. And believe it or not, that actually helps Ash out a lot in his training. Now, let's pretend that Team Rocket gets blasted off in episode 2 and they never show up again. What's that mean? Well, Ash is going to have to seek out wild Pokemon and other Pokemon trainers a lot more than he did, or at least a lot more that was shown in the anime, because he's going to have a giant hole of experience missing from his Pokemon team. With Team Rocket gone, he's going to continuously need to find opponents to battle, whether that's wild Pokemon, whether that's gym leaders, whether that is other Pokemon trainers. Ash is going to need to step up his game and battle a lot more trainers than what we originally saw in the first season of Pokemon. So, because of the wide experience gap, Ash needs to make that up. That's the con, I would say, to Team Rocket leaving. But there's also a major bonus to them not being there. And there are episodes that really drive this point home. And in these episodes, it just drives me nuts. So, Team Rocket likes to spoil Ash's plans a lot. And they always try and steal Pikachu, or they're up to trouble and they just need to be stopped. Ash is very hard-headed and he always feels like he needs to help out or he needs to get involved, when sometimes I just want Ash to stay in the corner, focus on his own stuff, and someone else will stop Team Rocket. Because in these episodes, I'm going to give you an example. When Ash is in the Pokemon Indigo League and he's fighting, he's up against Richie, which is one of his pals, and they are going to, it's very advanced. It's not like the finals or the semifinals, but they're getting further and further in the Indigo League, and the stakes are pretty high. Well, of course, Team Rocket has to just cause a bunch of chaos, and Ash gets caught up in this episode of needing to rescue Pokemon, needing to fight Team Rocket, and he goes into the Indigo League match, which is the most important match of his life up to this point, and him and his team of Pokemon are exhausted because they just battled Team Rocket, and it wasn't a quick battle, it was a lot of work. And so if Team Rocket wasn't there to continuously antagonize Ash and to make Ash battle himself out in all these episodes, I think Ash has a pretty good chance to have a much easier journey to becoming a Pokemon Master, or at least one where he can achieve more success, like winning the Pokemon League, than what he had in the show with Team Rocket being there. You see that they cause him trouble, and they just appear at the worst point in the episode that ruins Ash, and they put a nail in his tire. And there's some episodes, I showed you guys that example, but there's plenty more examples of where I just wish Team Rocket didn't exist, so Ash could go on his journey, could do his thing, and we would see how far Ash would go. Because honestly, in the Indigo League episode, he's fighting with a handicap because all of his Pokemon are just whipped from Team Rocket. And I thought that was really unfair. So it did cause me a lot of frustrations. I don't know about you guys, but there were some episodes that I just wish Team Rocket didn't exist. But they're the bad guys. That's what they do, and I understand that. So that's kind of my thoughts on what would happen if Team Rocket didn't exist. On one side of the coin, you have Ash missing tons of experience, tons of easy experience for all of his Pokemon, for them to gain and for them to grow, and he'd have to seek out new ways of growth besides just being Team Rocket. But on the other side, you have probably an easier, I don't know if the word is path, but his path to success, as the goals that he set out for himself are probably going to be a little bit easier because he doesn't always have to look behind him and see Jesse, James, and Meowth in his rearview mirror causing trouble, and then him have to turn around, take care of business before he can take care of his own business. So you have those two things continuously fighting with each other on what would happen if Team Rocket didn't exist. Those are my thoughts, but trainers, I would love to hear from you on your thoughts if Team Rocket didn't exist. If there was no Jesse, if there was no James, if there was no Meowth, what would happen to Ash on his journey to becoming a Pokemon Master? I would love to read your comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to like this video and of course, subscribe to my channel because I'm answering all of the tough Pokemon questions in the universe of the Pokemon anime. And of course, I'll do some what if questions for the Pokemon games. So I'd appreciate that if you would hit that sub button. All right, trainers, I wish you the best in catching them all.